Welcome back, Button Club members, to an episode of the Safe Sets podcast. I'm your host, Shadow Fury, and with me is
Ricky Icebeam.
How you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good. You know, you look a little different today.
Do I?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because you got some
some bling?
some bling, some adornments over there.
I got one of these.
Yeah.
And I got one of these.
And that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. Oh, wait a second.
Wait.
What's this? I got one of these.
Damn, dude. The triple threat winner of Button Club Year 1 Anniversary Award. If you guys haven't checked that out, please do check that out on the channel. It was a lot of fun. You had a good time, I'm sure.
I had so much fun. That was awesome.
Good,
I'm so glad we did that.
Hell yeah, something a little different for everyone, right? Like no tournament, no pressure, just casuals, laughing, good games.
Yeah, I was thinking about it as we were there. It's like, oh, it'd be so nice to like have more opportunities to get offline practice, because like the tournaments are fantastic, but in order to run a tight tournament, you don't have a lot of time to play casuals. Yeah,
it's true. And then the only other time is when we do living room locals here, which I know is probably a little more difficult for you to get out to do. But those days are really, really great and super important, because it's just hang out, mash games all day, get the tech, have some food and some laughs, and grow as a community. But that's not what we're doing in today's video. What are we going to be doing today?
So today, we're not talking about the game itself. We're talking about the music of the game. We're talking about Street Fighter II's character music. And we're going to be putting together a tier list of each character song and how much we love it or how much we hate it.
Absolutely. So this is a trip down memory lane for us youngsters here on the channel, you know. Obviously, you know, Street Fighter 2 was my first Street Fighter.
It was mine as well. Not competitively, obviously.
Of course,
but growing up as a little kid playing Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo, mashing to try to get an uppercut to come out.
Yeah. I remember, I think like, this is even before I had a Super Nintendo growing up. My cousins had it.
Yeah.
So I'd go to their house and play it. And then the first time I saw Street Fighter up there, I was like, this is amazing. The karate guys throwing fireballs and all these things that they're saying. The sound quality back then wasn't what it was today.
No, but there's something about it. It's so nostalgic. Like all the notes hit just right. And it's, even if there's something better, I don't like it as much.
Yeah. It's an instant trip down memory lane as soon as we hear some of these songs. Were there ever any voice lines that the characters said that you misunderstood at the time, and then growing up you realized, oh, that's what they're saying?
Yeah, so like Ryu's Tatsumaki, I had no idea what he was saying every time he did it, and I wouldn't even like know what to guess it was. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until much later I realized it was, Tatsumaki Senpu Kakyu.
Yeah. I used to think Shoryuken, they said Taiyuken instead.
Okay.
And it wasn't until, I never owned the game. Did you own it growing up?
Yeah, I had it growing up.
All right, so I rented it as many weekends as I possibly could from an old rental store called RX Place in Dartmouth. I don't even know if you remember that or not.
I don't remember that one.
Because you're from New Bedford.
Yeah. But I remember like we used to go to Blockbuster all the time, like every Friday night.
And then every once in a while you would rent the game and it would come with the instruction booklet.
The instruction booklet would tell you how to do the special moves.
Yes, and I remember that. Gold. Every time I saw like, oh, lucky my weekend, I got the instruction booklet. The art in there was so cool and stuff. So
I remember on the back it was either the back of the booklet or like the last page, there was like an order form to send away for like a Street Fighter 2 t-shirt, and I wanted it so bad and I never got it.
So all right, so let's switch it around here. We have our tier list and our characters. Now the characters have their stages, so that music just links up completely, right?
Yep. And I just want to point out that the tier list we're using is from Ultra Street Fighter 2, and so you can see there's like Evil Ryu and Violent Ken. We're not going to be covering those two characters, and we're not doing the music from Ultra Street Fighter 2. We're doing it from the original Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo.
That's right. The Blanca ball heading towards Chun-Li while Ryu's on the ground. I love that artwork. And I also really loved the one for Sega where it was M. Bison doing his
the scissor kick.
The scissor kick to Guile.
Champion Edition.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That was such a cool piece of artwork. And I only grew up having a Super Nintendo. I never had a Sega growing up.
I was lucky enough to have both.
Yeah.
But I remember the most amazing thing for me about Champion Edition is it was the first time both player 1 and player 2 could play the same character because they had the different costume colors.
Yeah,
and so it was the first time you could do a mirror match.
Yep. And then when they expanded to having the bosses on there, that was a trip because growing up, obviously the bosses were the hardest part of playing against the computer.
Yeah, because you had to beat a certain number of matches, and then the last 4 was always the 4 bosses in order.
And I had no interest in playing them because I hated them all.
Yeah, I hated all of them too.
The amount of inappropriate things that I used to call Sagat and Vega growing up, frustration was real. So, all right, so let's get into this then. You ready, my friend?
Yeah, so should we go, like, what order should we go in? Should we just start with Ryu? Or actually, let's click on whatever one's first. Yeah, so Ryu. Let's just start with Ryu.
All right, we're going to do a little bit of a sound test so you guys can hear Ryu. Yeah.
And I have some notes.
Oh, yeah?
I listened to all the songs and like kind of made my own tier list
so
we can talk about it and place them. So nostalgic.
It's so hype, too. And then when your health bar would get low, it would
go faster.
It would speed up and intensify the anxiety that you were going to lose. And then I also remember the background of the stage changing too, right? Because I think it's like a warm sunset in 2. And then I think in Turbo, it's more of a like dusk nighttime.
Yeah, that changes the time of day.
All right, so where would you put that one?
We can just pause it though, right?
Yeah.
Or do you want to
I'm trying to be fancy here. I'm a fancy boy. Fade it out, okay?
Jeez. Manual fade.
Got them DJ skills. So your boy Ryu.
So I really like this theme song. It's nostalgic. It reminds me of Street Fighter 2 through and through.
Yep.
I would put it A tier. What are your thoughts on it?
It definitely doesn't go any lower than A tier for me. I'm just wondering if it's S or not, honestly.
Yeah, and the list is a little bit relative, so we could put it in either S or A, and then later on kind of compare it to the other S's and A's and kind of decide, like, is it on the same level as these, or should it go up or down?
Yeah. All right, I'll put him in A for now. We'll stick it in A for now, and
later on, if it's determined, we'll bump him up.
Yeah.
But I agree. There's no way he's B, C, or D. That's such a good theme song.
No, because honestly, picking up the game from the beginning, my eye went right to Ryu. Karate Man, red headband. This is like as late 80s, early 90s of a character as it gets.
Yeah.
And I grew up always wanting to do karate, never really had the opportunity. So I just like, yep, that's my guy. Plus Ryu and Ryan having the first 2 letters, RY, and then a vowel. So I was like, this is meant to be.
Yeah, I think everyone's first character was Ryu.
It had to be, right?
Yeah.
Some people went right to Ken instead. They were like, "Oh no, like he looks cooler," but
I think it makes sense when you have like 2 brothers, right? Because the old Street Fighter 2, like I was saying, you both can't pick Ryu. So one of them has to pick Ryu and the other one has to pick Ken.
That's true.
So besides Ryu and Ken though, I would be surprised if anyone turns on Street Fighter 2 for the first time. It's like, let me check out Blanka first.
You'd be surprised. I bet Jared would be the person to pick up the first time. Be like, I just want that weird guy. He's got. he always goes for the most unorthodox looking characters for sure. Mm. All right, what do we have next? All right, E Honda.
Yeah, let's go to E Honda next.
All right.
I think this is a good one.
This is a good one, and I'm not an E Honda player, never was, probably never will be. So this gives me the feeling of the verses. I'm against this character, you know?
Yeah. For me, like, Street Fighter 2 E Honda is the only Honda I like because he's the weakest version of Honda.
Okay. If I had to actually say, I would probably place the stage as it looks higher than the music.
I agree with that.
You know?
The stage looks very cool.
The stage is cool. Bathhouse. I used to love when you would, win or lose at the end and it would flash the colors of the red sun. And yeah, this one doesn't touch you the same way.
Yeah, I agree.
So where would you put E Honda if you could?
So it's not a bad song.
No.
I think it's pretty good. I think a lot of the songs in Street Fighter 2 are very good, and I enjoy a lot of them. So it's hard to give them a really low ranking. Like I'd have to really hate something to give it a D. So I'm gonna place this in like B tier. What are your thoughts?
Okay. All right. If you said B tier, I think, in my opinion, there might be other songs that would fill up B tier. I think I'm feeling more like a C.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, let's put him in C for now. All the way on the right.
Oh, God.
He's looking fierce.
He is looking fierce. Big old Suma guy. Okay, so there you go. So we got your boy Honda in C tier. Yeah, and obviously, like you said, and like all the other tier lists that we've done, things are subject to kind of move as we see fit as we go along. So
yeah, it's hard to really gauge like the first one or two things unless it's really, really good or really, really bad.
Yeah, like unanimously, like no, that's when I think of Street Fighter, that's that. And honestly, you know, his theme also, right, Ryu?
Yeah, it's good.
I feel that. All right, next one. We got Blanca. Okay.
I think this is one of the most unique songs in the game.
I like that melody there.
Like if you listen to like the E Honda music or like the Chun-Li music, it's like they're similar.
That's true. That's true.
But, like you wouldn't confuse the two, but like no one's confusing this. Like this is the jungle stage.
I think that's the thing with how iconic all these characters are. Their look, stage, and sound.
Yeah.
Is there's no confusing one with the other.
And I think that's partly why Street Fighter 2 was so like good in its day. It's like everybody knew the characters' names, everybody knew like their stages. Like each character had so much personality.
There was a video I watched where people were talking about how like just the silhouettes of the characters could never be confused. And did you ever see the color swatches that were in order?
No.
So it'd be like black, red, flesh, white, red.
And you knew the character was. I did see that.
And all it was just color swatches, basically.
Yeah, it was like like yellow, tan, and green. Like, oh, that's Guile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was literally just like 3 colors for each character, and you knew which one it was.
Yeah. So where does Blanca go for you?
So for me, I think the song is very unique, and I think it's a good song, but it's probably similar to where I'd place E Honda's, so either B tier or C tier.
I like it slightly better than Honda's because of the energy that it brings.
Yeah, and it's like we keep saying, it's so unique. Like Honda's is more forgettable, I think.
Yeah. If it was like, you ever see that show growing up? Maybe not. Name That Tune.
Yep.
Okay, so like I might take me a few more notes to get E Honda's, but Blanca, I might get that a lot quicker. So I'm gonna go ahead and put him in B for now and see how he does there. Also, these character portraits are also they've evolved over time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, these are. I'm trying to think. I don't think this is from. Is like some of them look like from the original Street Fighter 2. Some of them might be like Super Turbo.
Yeah, I feel like they are because Guile in this version of Street Fighter 2 that we have up, he looks like a dork.
Yeah,
he looks so bad. Where here now he looks like a tough guy, soldier guy.
Yeah,
and then also the inclusion of T-Hawk, right? And stuff like that?
T-Hawk, DJ, Cammy, and Fei Long. They're all the new challengers.
Okay. Did you want to cover those still? Or?
Yeah, we'll cover them.
Okay, cool.
I consider them part of the original Street Fighter 2.
Okay. One of the many versions. All right. We did Blanca. All right, here we go.
We have a banger coming up.
That's right. Those trumpets. And I like how his stage changed too. Like it's either a blue sky day in this version, and then in hyper fighting, it's the sunset. It gets warmed up and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I played Guile, dabbled back then, and but he didn't actually become someone that I wanted to play more until the Street Fighter movie.
Yep. With
Van Damme, and then do you remember the American cartoon that was on USA?
I think so. If it's the one I'm thinking of.
He's the main character in that.
Was it the one where like he fights Ryu and Ken, just like beats him up? Like I'm trying to remember, they like go into a bar and Guile's like so much bigger and stronger than them.
That is that's the anime.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
That one is badass.
That's awesome.
That one I have that on DVD.
Oh my god, I might have to borrow that.
Yeah, it is so good.
Yeah, I just remember that scene because it was like Ryu and Ken go in and Guile's like 2 feet taller than both of them.
Yeah, he's massive.
He's like Zangief size.
And even lately, you know, I've been playing so much Guile, I listen to so many different versions of this song.
Yeah, like the Street Fighter 2 theme, the Street Fighter 4 theme, even the 5 theme I think is very good.
Or like people covering it. You ever hear of the consoles?
Oh yeah, have you seen the guy who does like acapella by himself?
Oh yeah. All the different faces of him making the different noises.
Yeah. That he does a really good job on that one.
So not just because I'm a current Guile main,
or because I'm a previous Guile main.
Yes, but
we can agree this is S tier.
This goes right to the top.
If there was a tier higher than S, it's that.
Ooh.
There's not a Street Fighter song better than this.
There's some that come close, right? But
yeah, there's some good ones. But Guile theme. It's the one.
So good. And the actable in the back there that you could knock them through the shipping crate.
Yeah.
And the noise that made and stuff. Old memories for young men, okay?
Yeah,
Our older brothers played this, and that's how we
yeah.
knew about it, you know? So don't get the wrong idea. That is driving me insane. All right. Blanca got... Okay, another top contender, honestly.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Let's hear it.
Oh, yeah. Even just that tone of the guitar and everything. It's got the energy of the Rushdown that he likes to play, or what we've come to know of Ken recently.
Yeah, it's very aggressive song.
It doesn't scream America as hard as Giles does for whatever reason,
right.
But
it is still pretty American, though. There's a lot of American characters in this game when you think about it.
I heard that Ken's stage, is actually based on an older martial arts movie.
Yeah.
Right? They fight like right in front of the boat. It's the same thing.
Yeah, they copied it for sure.
And then there's what some people call, Q in the background on the boat?
Oh, is he?
Well, it's an odd-looking man with a tan trench coat and a weird face in the hat. So people have, speculated, is that Q?
Possible.
And then I think there was somewhat of an inappropriate gesture going on in the background, either this stage or Giles.
I think it was the Guile stage. I think it was one of the females in the back doing a motion that if you're perverted enough, you could imagine what it would look like.
Yeah. And then he had the oil cans in the background, right? That you could knock them through.
Yeah. There's another stage with an interactable, which thankfully it didn't do any extra damage. It was.
Can
just
you
cool.
imagine? Yeah, right.
Oh, I'd be so salty.
That was
just Guile suplexing you through the crate for extra damage.
Pop up or something, get more of a combo. That would be insane. So where does this land on the tier list for you?
So I really like this song. I can't say I like it as much as Giles, but I think it's also S tier.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I think so too, honestly. Because if I'm gonna hum anything, it's usually those three. It's Guile, Ken, Ryu. So yeah, we're not even gonna play. We're gonna put them right to the top here.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, Street Fighter 2 HD Remix, which is one of my favorite versions of Street Fighter, one of my favorite fighting games of all time. When you turn on the game, it doesn't have its own Street Fighter theme. It just plays Ken's theme on the startup screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I barely played HD Remix, just very lightly.
We got to play that game.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's so good.
And how similar is it really just an HD reskin, or are there certain things that are different about it compared to the classic titles?
There are a few changes. It's mostly just a reskin, though. Like, if you can play Street Fighter 2, you can play HD Remix. Like, everything feels the same. There's a few balance changes, but, we're not playing it competitively, so, we wouldn't notice.
Yeah. That's true. All right. Filling up nicely here. Looking good. What do we got next after Ken? Chun-Li?
Yeah, let's listen to some Chun-Li.
Yeah, okay. This stage 2 is beautiful. Commerce is happening in the background. The fish market, the guy holding the chicken upside down, and the one on the bicycle.
Oh, I was going to mention we were listening to Ken's. When I was growing up, I used to pick Ken because in the original Street Fighter 2, if you picked it, the computer couldn't, and I hated fighting Ken.
Oh, wow, the strats.
So I'd pick Ken so the computer couldn't pick Ken.
Wow. I think arguably more iconic than even Chun-Li's music is
The throw sound?
her chihuahua barking for the lightning legs, in my opinion. You know, it's
for me, it's the sound she says when she throws. She goes, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
And it's so like nostalgic for me. Like that noise, like I'll never forget it. And in general, like I felt like back then, like not being actually good at the game, but just like playing like as a kid, like Chun-Li was easy mode.
Yeah.
Like she was so easy to win with.
And did she have a fireball in this version? Or is that something that came later?
That was in, I think it's definitely in Super. I forget which version of Street Fighter 2 was the first one she has the fireball.
I think it might have been Turbo.
Yeah, it might have been Turbo. Yeah, but either way. Even when she didn't have a fireball, she was really good.
Yeah, yeah. Bouncing off the walls.
Because she used to not have the fireball and she used to not have the up kicks.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was spinning bird kick or bust back then.
Yeah.
All right. So where does Chun go for you?
I like it. I don't love it. I'm gonna say B tier.
B tier.
What do you think?
I might like it slightly better than Blanca's theme, but I think Ryu's theme is definitely more iconic and stronger. But that's a hard one to place. You said B. I'm going to put her in A for now, if you don't mind.
Sure.
And then maybe she'll be right there. Because I might go, like, not that this is any in particular order, but usually it kind of goes down low into the S and A, so I might want to move her later.
It's so hard to choose tiers for this because like none of these songs are bad.
No, it's true. And the woman who wrote all this music, I'm pretty sure she won like some sort of award or has like amazing recognition for the music that she wrote for this. Because I also heard that she was just basically told like where the character's from.
Yep.
And that's basically it. So a lot of her inspiration for these sounds and the music was based on ethnicity, right? And where they are from the world. And you really hear that in Blanca and in E Honda.
Yeah.
Those two, I mean, without even seeing that stage, hearing that music, it pops into my head.
Yeah, it's a really interesting thought of like, did they make the music to match the stage or did they make the stage to match the music? So
she would get like these sketches late and then had to add the music after the fact. But you would never know that if that wasn't part of the story because they just seem like a perfect marriage of stage and sound, basically, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the character, like all three of them.
Yeah,
just
it's
match.
true. It's true. You know, like, did you ever like Double Dragon growing up?
I played it, but I wasn't super into it.
There was like a cartoon TV show at one point, and that's kind of like what the whole basis of Ryu and Ken remind me of a little bit too, is that Double Dragon inspiration, and I just love this game. All right, okay, we got a different one here, some Zangief for you. Now it was USSR back then.
Yeah, it was USSR. Yeah, I remember how aggressive the voice was when it would say USSR.
Yeah. And there's people in the back drinking, and the workers.
Yeah, it was like they were in like a factory.
Yeah. You know, his name was almost like Vodka Slavosky or something, like a wicked hardcore name like that. And they were like, no, we can't do that. And they settled on Zangief.
It's so wild to me that 3 of the names of the boss characters are flipped in Japan.
Yeah.
Because the way they are now in America sounds like they match perfectly. And doing it the way the Japanese originally had them named doesn't
make sense. No. All right. That one not so stellar by comparison. Where would you put your boy Zangief?
It's tough because, like I said, none of these songs are bad. I like it, but I can't put it too high on the tier list. I'm kind of stuck between B and C. What do you think? Might make my decision a little easier.
Yeah, for me it was C or D, so let's agree on C.
Yeah, I think it's a strong C.
It just doesn't touch me in the same way as the other ones, and I hated fighting him. I absolutely hated it. And in the turbo version, he would mash crouching light kick so fast. I'd be like,
oh yeah,
that's all you would hear, you know. And he's nowhere next to you. Like, why are you even doing that? That one slam, yeah, no.
He's like baiting you to get close to him.
Yeah, yeah. This is pre-grappler days for me. That was not a good time. And then even trying to mess around with Zangief, trying to do an SPD, a 360 maneuver
on a Super Nintendo controller back in the 90s was so hard.
No way. Did you ever play these games in the arcade?
Maybe like once or twice, but not really.
Yeah, it was mostly a home port by that time for us, right?
Yeah, and I was young. Like I didn't go to a lot of arcades when I was a kid. So.
All right, he's down there at the bottom. Okay.
I really like this one.
Oh, okay, all right.
I can see the elephants in my mind.
He was an annoying bastard too. You know what it is too is you know, for the Super Nintendo home version, you don't hear the elephants at all until
It's
the
over.
windscreen, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize until the 30th anniversary, which is a closer arcade port of the original, that they're doing their thing the whole time.
Oh, okay.
And that drives me absolutely insane when I'm trying to focus on this difficult matchup and still have to hear them off time, you know, elephants trumpeting and stuff.
That reminds me of the dinosaur stage in Street Fighter 4. I hated fighting on that stage because you just hear the dinosaurs like roaring in the background. I'm trying to focus.
That was an odd stage to even have for Street Fighter, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that like of all the stages, that one really didn't match. I hated
yeah.
that stage.
Okay. All right, it's almost done anyway, but that's enough of it for me personally.
So I really like this song.
Okay.
I don't think I can put it as high as Ryu and Chun-Li, so I would say it's B tier.
Okay.
And something about it, like the song just reminds me of Street Fighter 2. Like I can't really explain it well enough. But it's just like one of the more nostalgic songs for me.
I don't know if I was just annoyed by the character or the or the music. I mean, it's as iconic as his heritage, right? It sounds like he's from India.
Mm-hmm. But I see what you're saying. Like, if you had a bad time fighting the character, you associate the song with bad times.
Yes. I'll entertain you, and I will put him in B.
Yeah, I think it's kind of easy to say, like, yeah, like this was more enjoyable than Honda and Zangief.
Yeah. And more fitting for the character itself, right? Like Zangief, maybe Zangief a little bit, like fits him, but yeah.
I'm also thinking too, like characters like Zangief, I think Zangief had better theme songs in other Street Fighter games, like 4 and 5 and 6 even.
Yeah, Zangief's theme in 6, I really like.
Right, especially if you compare it. Well, this will be another video. Yeah, comparing like Gief's theme in 6 to some of the other characters' themes in 6, I think it matches him really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that and JP. JP's theme just sounds like impending doom.
Yeah.
And you know, also we could even do a tier list of the stages themselves minus the music. Just like aesthetically the best stages. Might not be a bad idea. All right. Awesome.
We can skip down to Balrog.
All right. Next character. Balrog.
Yeah.
Now, he was annoying to fight.
Yeah. Aura!
But I love this song. I always thought it was awesome when Balrog just popped his shirt off, just ripped it. And I think there's just so much going on in the background that completely encompasses a night out on the town in Vegas, the lights, the cars, the people, the showgirls.
I agree. This is an awesome song.
Yeah.
I like the song so much more than the character.
Yes, 100%. 100%. You could like cheese him a little bit. You like if you read the right time on a dash punch, you might be able to sweep it or something, right?
Yeah. Or just like hold up and like hope he doesn't do the up one.
Yeah. Yeah, and then this breakdown to the build up. Yeah. All right. I love it. I absolutely love this song. Where would you put Balrog on this tier list here?
I was gonna ask you that question. Where do you think it belongs?
I'm like torn between S and A. It's about as Street Fighter as it gets for me, and I've definitely, regardless of how I feel about the character, I've definitely caught myself humming this song, and so.
Well, I'll make it easy for you. This is a very easy S tier.
Yeah. All right, there he is. Absolutely an S tier soundtrack right there. S tier soundtrack, S tier stage, and
not S tier character.
Yeah, a completely meh character. Did you know that for the longest time, Mike Tyson had no idea that this character was
about him?
Was about him, basically.
That's surprising.
And that's where the controversy of the name change comes from, right?
Yeah, so Balrog in Japan was M. Bison, and they didn't want them to realize that it was M. Bison, like a play on Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
And so they switched some of the names around to kind of fix that. And I think Balrog suits him so much better than M. Bison.
100%. Because what is a Balrog? Isn't that isn't that like a three-headed? No, that's a chimera, right? Isn't it like it's like a based on like a real like demon or something?
It might be. I don't know what it is.
Leave it down in the comments. I didn't do my homework for that one, but yeah, leave it down in the comments. What is a Balrog?
And I always thought it was kind of funny the like voice actor like in the game. It sounded like he said Barlog instead of Balrog.
Oh yeah. Well, because even the announcers changed as the games did, right? Every iteration. So I hate the Super Turbo announcer.
Okay.
Because it sounds weak. He's like, "Oh, Gaia wins."
Yeah.
Like, you win. All right, and then Vega.
Growing up, this is one of the hardest characters for me to beat.
100%.
Nothing was more frustrating when he would climb on the cage and then come off and throw you, and then he would yodel.
Mm-hmm. Hated that. Like, the stage is cool, and that's like the first time of an interactable background for the character specific, right? He's the only one who can do that.
Yeah, and we didn't realize it until he became a playable character. That was the only stage he could do that on.
Yep. And it's a cool looking stage, and it really matches his whole aesthetic and heritage and stuff.
It was really interesting when they brought that stage into Street Fighter V. They made it so Vega could climb on the cage like he did in Street Fighter 2. And for that reason, that stage actually got banned from competition.
That makes sense.
Not because it made Vega better, it's because it made Vega worse.
How come?
Because you have to climb on this. Like, instead of doing it instantly, you'd climb on the cage first and then jump. So it was like so obvious what he's doing.
Oh, okay. Because, like, as a kid playing this, it's a much faster descent, right? He kind of crawls up.
Yeah, and I think part of it, like if we played the game now, like, oh yeah, it's obvious what he's going to do because he's climbing on the cage. We'll just uppercut it every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but as a kid, it's like, I can't uppercut on demand. What do you expect of me? I'm doing crouch heavy punch over here.
Yeah. Even, like, the first way to even learn how to DP was like, okay, it's just walk forward and kind of fireball, so let me try and get that.
Yeah, I would just mash fireball and hope an uppercut came out.
Yeah. And honestly, that's going to be the first time we've listened to the entire song. The auto fade, all right? You don't have to do that time. All right, so where would you put your boy Vega on this tier list here?
So I really like this theme song. I can't put it up there with Guile and Ken and Balrog. I think this is an A tier song.
A tier.
What do you think?
I would probably go. I'm thinking kind of B tier right now. But yeah, I'm thinking kind of B tier.
I'm fine with that.
Just because, like,
it's not as nostalgic as some of the other songs.
Yeah.
Especially because it happened so late in the game and it wasn't a character that you could play in the original one. So
that's true, yeah.
And then, and even when you could play Vega, like, I don't think a lot of people loved Vega in Street Fighter 2.
No. Like, his design is so torn from me because it is very badass and effeminate, right? So like I kind of just didn't know where to place him. I thought like the tattoo's cool, the mask is cool, the claw, everything else he's wearing not so much. And then when the mask is off, he's got that very long hair, and he's a beautiful human being. But okay, Vega. All right,
This one?
this one.
We're going to be quiet for this one. So I can't hear this theme song without imagining tiger, 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 tiger uppercut.
Yep, that's like all you can hear. I love the speed up here.
Yep.
And those trumpet sounds are very much like in an off time on their own rhythm that circle back with the rest of the background rhythm. And this bop right here. Oh, like I was mentioning before, the consoles. Have you heard of them?
No.
They do jazz versions of popular old games. And they have a version of this song that's very jazz, slowed down.
I'll have to listen to the Guile theme that they do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. All right, where does Sagat go for you?
So I really like this song. I think it's an A tier.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Oh. I don't even want to shut it off. It's so good.
We can put it in S if you think
I
it's an
think
S.
so, man. I think so. Even his stage is so beautiful. I love the statue.
Yeah, visually, I love the stage.
The sunset and everything.
That was a cool thing too, like picking the character stages.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, this song does it for me. That's a bop right there. Yeah, I think that is worth being S tier because, yeah, and this is more or less I think how I would have laid it out even if it was by myself. Yeah. His like could sneak up in there maybe, but we'll see. And then now this is the final of the bosses. This is M. Bison, who is in Japanese Vega, right?
Yeah, he's Vega in Japan. Yeah, and it's just so weird.
It's so weird. So then when you look at
because Vega in Japan was Balrog, which makes no sense in my mind.
No. And then and he has on both versions he has the V on his mask, but it's to represent his boss being dictator. But in America you think like of course he's got a V on his mask. His name's Vega, right. So and then I love the terminology that goes with what we call them now: Claw, Boxer, Dictator, and Sagat's the only one who gets to keep his actual name. So
and Sagat suits Sagat so well. I'm so glad they didn't change that.
Yeah, and he's based off of another like real life Muay Thai boxer also.
Yeah, I believe that's true.
All right, M. Bison, here we go. So this is end of the game for you usually.
This song's giving me PTSD.
Yep.
I'm getting Psycho Crush from full screen.
And the statues that you'd break though. I love that. And this has got some hype too. This brings it.
It was faster here.
Yeah.
It's funny, like you were talking about earlier, like the speed of the song changes like how you feel when you're playing. And then when your health gets low, it goes even faster. Like, listen how fast this is now. This is the slow part of the song.
That's true.
Like when your health gets low, it like goes like, I don't know exactly how fast. I don't know if it's double speed, but it's much faster.
And just like the bell chimes. Dun. I think for me, this is an A tier.
I agree with that. I think it's A tier all day.
Yeah, I think so because it's the big boss, It's got a great feeling to it.
Yeah, but it's not S tier. I mean, S tier's for the best of the best.
If I was to ever, get hit in the head, had a concussion, and couldn't remember my name, I could more remember these top 4 songs first before I would remember that one, So, all right, not too bad. All right, so while we have it here, we have the new challengers still to take care of. Right?
Do they have that on this video?
No, they don't, huh?
So let's quickly look up Super Street Fighter 2 OST. Because some of the songs are different, but for the new challengers, this is the only one they have of them. But it would have to be for Super Nintendo. So let's do the one that has the box art.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Well done. I think these are all... Okay, so Fei Long we'll do next then.
Sure, let's do that. I thought Fei Long was so cool when he came out.
Same.
And the stage with the dragon in the back.
Yeah.
And you're on like this platform.
I just, I grew up watching Bruce Lee movies and have always been a fan of anything. So to have that replica of him in there. I also love the artwork from the Super generation.
Yeah.
I had one of the strategy guides, and I would just read through it and draw the concept art that was in it. Still very 90s sounding, right?
Yeah.
Like this could actually be in a martial arts film, no?
Yeah. If this was like like a fight scene or something.
Yeah.
Or like a training montage.
Yeah, right? 100%.
He's doing push-ups, he's breaking trees.
Yeah.
Like from like Kickboxer.
Yeah.
Seen that movie?
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, that was like the perfect amount of time right there. All right, so Fei Long, where does he go in this tier list for you? That's a pretty strong one.
Yeah, it's tough to place. I do like it a lot. In my mind, it's not really a contender for S tier. I'm kind of stuck between A tier and B tier, but I do like it, so I'm going to vote A tier for Fei Long.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Because, my time with Super Street Fighter is less because it's towards the end of its life cycle and it's changed already so much.
Yeah.
So I probably rented that one the least. And that is the last version for the Super Nintendo because we never got Super Turbo.
Right. And for me, when I was playing Super Street Fighter 2, I didn't have it on the Super Nintendo. I had it on Sega Genesis. And the Sega Genesis controllers I had didn't have 6 buttons. They had 3 buttons. So it was so annoying is you'd have like your 3 buttons mapped to your 3 punches. You'd have to press the start button to switch to kicks. And you could not pause.
That's so horrendous.
So even though I had it and I loved it, I played it less than the old one on the on the Super Nintendo because you could pause and all 6 buttons were right there.
Jared bought me a Sega for my birthday a couple of years ago.
That's such a cool gift.
It's such a cool gift. We were doing a lot of like thrift store shopping and going to the flea market in Taunton, which we've got so much stupid Street Fighter memorabilia from. So when he got it for me, I was like, oh, I know exactly what I'm buying next. A 6-button controller. And we went to either the flea market that day or Games to Gold in New Bedford.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, I need 2 of these right now. Let's go. And honestly, the 6-button controller for Sega is really, really nice.
It is really nice. The other thing I had back in the day, now that I'm thinking about it, so like the original Sega Genesis controllers had concave buttons, and I don't know where my parents got it, but I had some third-party controller that had red buttons, and they were convex.
Oh,
they were convex, and they had like a little like dot in the middle that would stuck up even more.
Oh, so like you could feel around the controller to know where you were, or every single one had one. Or?
Every single one had a dot on it. I don't know why. After a while, it would hurt my finger because I'm like mashing the button so much. But yeah, I think it had red buttons, and I think the start button was blue. Like, it was so cool.
Oh, that is cool.
And I didn't know any different because I was just a kid back then.
Yeah.
That's what I had. I had that, and then I had the black regular Sega Genesis controller.
I've seen videos of people using their T-shirt between their thumb and the D-pad, just so they could slide better for DPs and different motions and stuff. And it was probably like a TikTok or whatever that I saw it through, and this guy was just like, my poor, adolescent thumbs.
Yeah,
and how I destroyed them trying to do these moves, and I could have just done that the whole time.
Not only did I used to destroy my thumb on the D-pad, but like the inside of my left palm would hurt from like squeezing the controller so tight.
Oh,
like, trying to mash uppercuts and stuff.
And the shout outs to at least those controllers because they were strong. Because even though I'm a kid, I tried my hardest to like wrench on those and hear a crackle or two, and then be like, "Oh no, okay, that's enough."
Yeah, it's too much.
I got my rage out a little bit. All right, after Fei Long, we got your girl Cammy.
Yeah, the second female in Street Fighter history.
Yeah. I love this.
I love this song too. It is such a shame that she sucks in this game.
I love this song, and I love her stage.
Yeah, the stage too is awesome.
It's so beautiful.
So
the Aurora Borealis in the background.
Yeah, and you're fighting on like a bridge. It looks like a thin bridge.
Yep. Even her lore as a character is really, really awesome too.
Yeah, she's like an assassin.
Yep. And now I'm thinking of James Chen again. Speaking of, yeah. All right. Yeah, and then it kind of dips again. But when it gets good, coming up, that's when this song is singing. Yeah. That's a groove right there.
I think people can tell what we're going to grade it because the songs we like the most, we talk the least because we're trying to listen to it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I don't want this one to end. When it dips down again, I'll shut it off. No, we're finishing it. We're so close. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Cammy. Well done.
There's not much to say about this. This is an instant S tier for me. I love this song.
Yes.
It's almost as good as Guile's.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we were ordering this tier list, like, Guile's would be number 1, Cammy would be number 2.
Oh, I'm doing
Well,
that.
actually, Balrog's is really good, too. Those 3. Balrog, Cammy, and Guile. All 3 of those are my top 3, I think.
Oh, yeah. Honestly. Hold on. Top 3? Ooh.
Well, we still have 2 more.
I know. All right, yeah, I'll give my answer towards the end. It'll give me time to cook it up, basically. All right, yes, we're halfway through the new challengers. So here's some DJ.
We got to restart that.
Okay.
The start of that song is so cool.
Yeah. But he's a bastard to fight against.
Oh, yeah.
Nyah! Nyah! And that slide that he has.
Yeah, the slide kick. Yeah, if you were like a kid and like playing this game and you didn't like really know how to play, you could just spam that slide kick.
Mm-hmm. And again, I think the background is gorgeous. There's so much going on.
Yeah, all the dancers.
All the dancers, the sunset. It's got that little, what's it called? Not a pagoda, but the...
I just thought it was like a stage. I didn't know what it was.
Kind of like a stage. I feel like I've seen people get married in one of those.
Oh, I'm going to forget the word now. I know exactly what you're talking about.
But the band's in there jamming out and stuff. the sixth stage I absolutely love. I think it's gorgeous. The
that's
beach. And it was nice to get more representation of a character like this.
Yeah. Yeah, the first one from Jamaica, right?
Yeah. And did you know why his pants say maximum?
Was that because of the special moves were called maximum?
It says maximum on his pants because whether he was first player or second player going vertical, it was mirrored.
Oh, it's the same thing upside down?
Yeah.
That's so...
Come on. Yeah, if maximum going vertically, if you flip it, it's the same, so it didn't matter. So that's why they put that on there, which I think is interesting.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because each letter left to right, if you flipped it.
Exactly, yeah, because it runs down his pants vertically, right?
And that's the same reason why Guile has the American flag tattoo on both arms.
Yeah.
It's because if you switch to the other side, he's got to have the same thing.
Yeah, and I've tattooed, obviously, military before, and I always thought it would be wrong for the American flag to go in the other direction. But I guess in some of the...
It's supposed to be backwards.
It's supposed to be backwards, right? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I think it has to do with like... So similarly, like if you look at the front of an ambulance, it says ambulance backwards. That way when you see it in your rear view, you can read it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think it's something about that with the American flag tattoos where you tattoo it backwards.
Okay.
Either that or maybe it's because you're not supposed to I'm not going to think of the right word, but like desecrate the flag.
Oh, okay.
And so to get a flag tattoo is like not good. So like getting a backwards flag tattoo is like showing it respect.
Oh, okay.
But I could be wrong.
Okay. So where you put old DJ up in this tier list?
So like I said earlier, it's so hard because none of these songs are bad, but this isn't one of the better ones in my opinion. I'm going to say B tier.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with that. 100%. Now, I know you might not have the answer to this, but how accurate is this for character strength on top of that?
For character strength or how much I like the character?
Strength.
Oh, for strength? I'm trying to think back to Street Fighter 2.
Like, I know Sagat and Balrog are pretty strong, right? And are they competitively viable, or is it just the CPU that's messing with me?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's tough to tell you, too, because I think the best Street Fighter 2 players are from Japan. And in Japan, if the player loves their character, they're going to grind that character till the end of time. So, like, I'm pretty sure Honda's, like, the worst character in the game by far. And there's, like, a really, really strong Honda player in Japan.
Really?
Who will only lose if you're like the best with your character too. Like if you're the best Ken, you can beat him because Ken's just better than Honda.
Yeah.
But if you're all not the highest level Street Fighter 2 player, he'll blow you up with the Honda.
Make him look S tier, right?
Exactly. Yeah, but not a strong character. So it's tough to say like if there was like a Street Fighter 2 tournament, like a Evo Japan, let's say. I don't know if there was, but let's say they did like a side tournament. I would expect to see like Guile, Ken, Ryu up there at the top. Which again, it's tough to say. Like, is that because the characters are strong? Or is that just because they love the characters and that's who they play?
Yeah. I feel like Bison, Fei Long, same thing. Because I know they were strong, and Fei Long was. Is that the invention of like what we know today as the Rekka character?
Yeah, as far as I know. I mean, I don't know enough about fighting games to say there was never been a Rekka character before this, but this was the first time I've learned of a Rekka character.
All right, let's move on. We've got your boy here.
So we want to turn the sound up before we
Yeah, actually I just wanted to get it started because I feel like I started a little bit of it.
Oh, I see.
So the second grappler to come to Street Fighter.
And yeah, maybe fighting games ever, right?
Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
know.
Yeah, that's true.
The Street Fighter 2 like did so many things for the first time, and it was the first time I've ever seen it. So without digging through the history of it, I have to assume like if it's new for Street Fighter, it's probably new for fighting games as a whole. I used to hate fighting this character with a passion, especially like the jump and then the dive kick. Oh my god.
You'd know it was going to happen or want it to happen, but you could never stuff it, right?
And then we knew to get you with the SPD. Like, it's one thing to get hit with a Zangief SPD. Like, I can stomach that. But when you get hit with a T-Hawk SPD in Street Fighter 2, he grabs you by the face and he leaps up and goes, "Huh!"
And just windmills you for a bit, right?
Yeah, he styles on you and slams you down. And then, like, he, like, jumps back. So it's like, I can't even hit him back.
I like his character model and his dress, and I think, you know...
I really like the stage, too.
The stage is really cool, very pretty. This is a really elegant song, but it doesn't, like, hit me as hard in the nostalgia feels as some of the other characters.
Yeah, and it's hard... I mean, Cammy's is fantastic, but it's really hard for any of the new challengers to kind of, like, break in there because they came out so much later.
Yeah.
That we didn't hear it for so many years.
Where, like, everything before the new challengers is so much more ingrained in us, right?
Right. Right, and also, like, a lot of people, these, you know, around our age, like, who played Street Fighter 2, like, almost none of us played the new challengers as our main characters.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, yeah. So, where does your boy Thok go into all this?
So, this is tough to place. I like it. I think I like it better than like DJ and Vega. So I'm going to go ahead and say A tier. But it's tough because I don't think it's necessarily as good as like Ryu and Chun-Li. But I could see it next to Fei Long. Like they're both like good new songs. So I'm kind of stuck between A tier and B tier.
I think B tier for me. Yeah, honestly, yeah, I think B tier. It's like it's obviously a great song, and if Cammy's is the best out of the new challengers, then I feel like that kind of stacks up that way also.
Yeah, Fei Long is second best of the new challengers. Yeah, and DJ and T-Hawk not as good as the other two.
Like if I had to choose between one of these, it would be a complete coin toss between DJ and T-Hawk. It's like I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, it's tough for me because, like I said, I like T-Hawk's better than DJ's, but not as much as Fei Long. So they're all kind of close.
And then is that basically it?
There's one more character.
Okay. And it's this guy right here?
It's that guy right there.
So where
is it here? It should be. Maybe at the top?
Yeah, maybe I skipped through it already.
I'd be surprised if they didn't include it.
Because I've never had the experience of fighting against Akuma.
Yeah, let's look it up manually. Let's just look up Super Street Fighter 2
Akuma
OST. Yeah, that top one.
Oh, okay. I do remember this now. Okay, so I actually remember this more from like the Alpha series because it's the exact same song, basically. Yeah. Okay. It definitely has boss vibes to it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's got like a Hong Kong movie feel.
It's tough for me to love this song because I feel like Akuma's theme songs in the newer Street Fighter games are even better than this.
Yeah.
That, and like you were saying, well, like the nostalgia factor, like this song's not super nostalgic for me because I almost never hear it.
Yeah, yeah. I would remember it more because he's a playable character right off in the Alpha series. Like that's where it brings me back to.
Yeah, and Super Street Fighter 2, there was like a special button input you had to do on the character select screen to use Akuma.
And then even then, like,
I don't think you could choose, like, he doesn't have his own stage.
That's true.
So I don't think there's a way to hear Akuma's theme song unless you use, you know, at the end of the arcade mode. And unlock him, of course.
Yeah. All right. Where does that go for you?
So I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm kind of torn between B and C.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, knowing how good Akuma's themes are in future games, I'm leaning towards C because it's like a weak showing for this character.
Yeah. It's a good song. It definitely reminds me of Akuma, but it's just not.
Yeah, like if I'm going to listen to Street Fighter 2 music, it's not like I might, I'm definitely going to pick Guile's theme. I'm going to pick Cammy's theme. I'm going to pick Balrog's theme. I'll pick Ryu. I'll pick Chun-Li. I'll pick Blanca even. But like I'm not going to go out of my way and pick Akuma's theme. So
I'm with you on that. It's how about that?
That's fine.
The top of C.
Yeah.
Because like it is a cool song, but it doesn't take me on any type of an emotional or nostalgic ride,
Right.
like Cammy's will, like what we've chosen here for our top. Was this 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Even top 10, right? Like that kind of makes a lot of sense that way for me.
Yeah.
Would you move anything now in retrospect? Now that we have it here,
So I would not move any of the S tiers down.
mm-hmm.
I'm considering moving Ryu up to S.
Mm-hmm.
It is really good and like one of the most nostalgic Street Fighter 2 songs.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, let's do that.
I didn't want to place it too high at first, but amongst how much we've talked about all these 6 characters, I think that makes total sense. And then these are great songs, good feeling, and then I feel like honestly, you thought Blanca for A, didn't you?
I don't recall now. But looking at everything together, like of the B tiers, like if I could only move one of the B tiers up, I'd probably vote Dalsum's. Like of those 5 B tier characters, I probably like Dalsum's the best.
Ooh, okay.
It's tough. Like either Dalsum. It's so tough.
It'd be Blanca for me. If you were to say Dalsum to move up, it would be Blanca for me.
So maybe they stay where they are.
Yeah. Because there's obviously like a clear-cut difference. There's a hard drop-off after here.
Yeah, after Fei Long,
Yeah.
especially. Fei Long's the gatekeeper. If you're not if you're not as good as Fei Long's song, then you stay in B.
You are where you are at. Cool. Not bad. Not bad. Pretty good. Anything else you want to say about these characters, these songs, the memories you have of this game?
Yeah, like so many of these songs are so nostalgic. Like I played this game so much as a kid on the Super Nintendo. Like I had it, and then like I would go to my grandmother's house every week, and she had it. Like,
oh, no way!
Well, it was mine, but like
yeah.
But, like
you would bring yours, or she had to set up there.
She had to set up there.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I'd be like home playing Street Fighter 2, and then turn it off, go to grandma's house, turn on Street Fighter 2.
Oh, so cool. My grandmother was always afraid that us hooking up our game system was going to mess with the ecosystem of her TV.
You're gonna break her TV.
It was a rare occasion to be able to play games like this, or even I remember playing Mortal Kombat 2. Like we convinced her to have her set it up on her TV there and stuff. But the first time I ever played Super Street Fighter 2, there used to be this old couple that lived next door to me and my family. My family had built that house there. And they were really cool people, but their grandson came up from Florida.
Oh, yeah?
And it was instantly like, oh, this is your grandson? We clicked right away, and we spent the whole weekend together. And the first thing we were like, can we go rent Street Fighter? He said he liked Street Fighter. I like Street Fighter. Let's go pick it up. And we picked up Super Street Fighter, and that was my first time playing that version of the game. And even, I don't know if you know this, but in the Super Nintendo version of that, you don't get round 1 fight.
No?
It just goes right into the beginning and people start fighting, or maybe it's just missing round 1 and you get the fight.
It might just be fight, because it's been a while since I played it, but I remember it saying fight.
Yeah,
There has to be something. Right?
It has to be something to start it. But I remember being like, wait, is this missing a sound chip or something? What's going on with that?
Oh, do you remember if you had enough? I'm trying to think. If you had enough double knockouts, like the rounds would change. So like you'd have round 1, round 2, round 3, but I'm trying to remember. I think it's like if you like player one round 1 and like player 2 1 round 2, and then you had a double knockout, it would say final.
Yes. we actually had a double knockout today on the Street Fighter 2 cab at the compound.
Oh, really?
And it was a wash of a game, and I think they had one round, but the next one was like the same thing. We're like, oh my god, double knockout, no one wins nothing, no one loses anything. Super, super interesting. I feel like I had one more thing to say. Oh yes, growing up with this game and the 2 and 2 Turbo, I loved how you could open up the options menu and go into every single, you could listen to the songs on your own because they were all there, and every little attack, the sounds that they made, the punches, the kicks, every sound effect was available for you to just go back and listen.
Yep.
And I used to love playing with that. Or sometimes me and my brother would be like play fighting. We'd be like, hold the controller and throw the punch at each other and make the noise with it,
Throwing Hadoukens in the living room.
Yeah, exactly. That was just such a cool feature that I've never seen in any other type of a video game that you could go in and mess with the sounds. Any other nostalgic stories? I'm trying to think of anything else I could say about this game.
I just have so many memories of being so frustrated because if you lose, I'm trying to think. No, yeah, because if you lose, it would do like the countdown and then you'd continue. But then you could start a match and then you could pause. So I remember like so many times of like being stuck on Vega playing arcade mode, and like I would pause it and then like go do something else and I'd forget it was on. So I'd come back like 3-4 hours later and it's just pause and I'm like, shit, I gotta fight Vega again. And then it's always that thing of like, do I turn it on? And I'm not warmed up. Do I unpause it and try to beat Vega, or do I just turn the console off?
Yeah.
Do I admit defeat?
Because you got all the credits in the world. You own the game, right? You don't have to, pay to play. But in that moment, you're like, do I even want to do this? Like, I'm not even sure.
Right. Or it's like, do I turn it off? And then like, if I want to play it again today, I have to start over.
Yeah. Do you remember the noise it would make when you would pause it?
Yeah, it was a weird noise. It was like,
yeah. Dan, like that. And you couldn't do that in the arcade. That was exclusive at home,
Yeah.
Obviously, a beautiful game. Nothing but nostalgia, memories here, and hopefully we filled you in on so many stories.
Speaking of nostalgia, I'm just remembering when you get a KO, the character had like a dying sound.
Oh, that was epic for me.
Yeah.
And like even past that, right? Let's call it like 10 years past that, when you would talk and reference Street Fighter, that would be something that people would say right away, Oh, you get the last hit and ooh.
Exactly.
And I love the continue state, faces that they would make too. And
they're all beat up and bloody. And then you continue and they smile and like their eye twinkles.
Yeah, the eye twinkle. I love that. Yeah. As a kid, I'm sure you've beaten the game, right?
Yep.
And who were the characters that you've beaten the game with growing up?
So technically all of them. But I used to pick Ken a lot because the computer couldn't pick Ken. I won with Ryu a lot. I actually won with Chun-Li a lot because I found her so easy to play, especially against the computer that like didn't really know what was going on. But I remember like when once I got good enough where I could like basically beat the game with any character as a kid, it would really be like, whose ending theme do I want to see? Whose ending song do I want to listen to?
That's a good point.
And that would be like who I choose that day. But I remember like certain characters were obviously much easier for me to win with than others. So like Ryu, Ken, Guile, Chun-Li, pretty easy for me. But like Dalsum, I had so much trouble winning with Dalsum, or like Blanca, that like seeing their ending, like hearing their theme, like the ending theme song for them, it was like such a sense of victory.
Yeah. So you could even beat it with Zangief and stuff?
Yeah.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah, at the end, he does like the Russian dance at the end where he's like,
the Cossack kicks or whatever I think it's called.
Yeah.
With like their prime minister at the time or something.
Yeah,
like it's very accurate.
Yeah.
I think growing up I only beat it with Guile, Ryu, Ken, and I think maybe even Sagat in the championship edition, just because he's so good. But yeah, I don't think I ever explored the other characters to try and actually beat the game with, or was successful in doing that. No way.
Yeah, and for like a lot of the characters, like you were saying that like it's surprising I could beat with Zangief. Like I wasn't doing SPDs, I was like sweeping and stuff.
Oh yeah. But even then, he
just like sweeps,
big,
regular
slow
throws. Yeah, like jump, light kick.
So who's your favorite? Not only character, but who's your favorite ending?
I think it has to be Giles.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his whole thing is like his quote when he wins is "Go home and be a family man." And then like he defeats Bison and he gets to go home to his family
And,
with his,
and
his
do
wife and his
exactly
daughter.
that.
Yeah.
I remember beating it with Ryu, and it was disappointing that he wasn't even on the podium.
Yeah, it was like, where's Ryu?
Where's Ryu? I'm like, this is his ending? He doesn't even, you don't really know a lot about the character then, but that is the insight into the character as personality. And I love the walk-off theme and the animation and stuff, and being like, but he doesn't even show up to the podium. Like, I would never win something and not be there to accept the award,
Yeah, but that concept of being like the competition is so important that like I have no time for ceremonies. I have to go train.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's such a cool concept that they depicted in that old game.
100%. And then favorite character here, period.
Favorite character, period, Guile.
Guile, yeah.
Yeah.
Even in Super with the very weird like pretzel animation for his Super.
And well,
because it's not what it is today. Like back forward. I think it like charge down, up.
Yeah, so it's basically Sonic Boom then Flash Kick.
I have never thought of it like that. Okay.
Yeah, it's down, back, forward, down, back, up.
Okay. Oh, all right. You just changed my life. I had no idea. Guile's. And
in the old Street Fighter 2, there was no Super, so it didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Matter.
Yeah, for me, it's probably a tie-up between Ryu and Guile. As a kid, the movie, the TV show, and Guile is just so cool with his camo and the dog tags. Definitely was interested in that growing up as a kid. I wasn't much of a GI Joe guy, but I think
he was your GI Joe.
He was my GI Joe, 100%. He was the coolest. Cool. Anything else you want to say about this game or these characters?
The only thing I want to say is maybe an idea for another video, because we're going to be doing a lot more of these with other Street Fighter games and diving into the music. And like the whole idea was like, let's do the character themes and rate them. And I'm thinking maybe we should do another video for Street Fighter 2 where we rank their ending theme songs.
Oh, okay. Or the ending as a whole.
Oh yeah, the ending as a whole. That'd be better. Not just the song. We'll play the ending and kind of vote that.
That's cool. Yeah, because we could just show them while it's up there and stuff like that, and maybe teach some of you,
some of the youngins,
some of you young whippersnappers, what an ending looked like back in our time, in our days.
Right, how hard we had to work for them.
Yeah, man. You definitely got your money's worth playing it, and it's probably for the best that I maybe didn't own the game. Right? It's like I have to return this, so I can't smash the game. Quick side story. Speaking of smashing games, I ever tell you about me and my brother playing Tekken 3?
No.
All right, bonus content for you guys. Loved Tekken, played Tekken 3 a whole bunch, and me and my brother growing up, we shared everything. So if there was a PlayStation given to us or a game, it was both of ours, right? Yep. So home, summer vacation one day, playing Tekken 3. The main boss is Ogre, is just over the top, super strong, right? And of course, I'd beaten the game before, but I'm in a mood right now. So I'm getting so demolished and so aggravated that I open up the PlayStation console, take the disc, and I frisbee it towards my TV, and it just pops and shatters.
Oh, man.
And Kevin's right there with me, and there's 6 years between me and my brother, so if I'm like a teenager, he's still a little boy, And he's like, oh my, what did you do? That's our game. You just broke our game. And while he's doing this, I'm getting ready. I'm like, let's go. We're going to the mall right now because we lived right across the mall. We could just walk to the Dartmouth Mall. Yep. Like, let's go. Put your clothes on. We're going to go walk to the mall right now. I'm buying you another game. I just had to do that to get my frustration out. And it's already like, a greatest hits classic. So I knew I was out for $20 and we had that game for however long. But man, that just got me so triggered. I had to pop that game out and smash it and just go get us another one. But
yeah, I think everyone has a story, especially being a young kid playing a fighting game or playing a video game and like throwing a controller or kicking something, breaking something.
I might have more than I should, honestly. For the longest time, our power button in our TV in our bedroom, because we shared a bedroom growing up, for way too long, okay? For way too long. And I threw the controller at the TV once, and I popped the power button inside the TV.
And it never came out.
So it was remote control only to turn the TV on and off then. So Kevin would probably corroborate many of other stories of my rage and frustration as an angsty teen playing fighting games. All right. Anything else, my friend?
I think that's it.
Good to
I
go.
think we did it.
See, and look at the time. We're definitely over an hour, even with edits, so we did pretty good. All right, Button Club family, that is going to wrap it up for this episode of the Safe Sets podcast. I hope that you have enjoyed yourself and have found, it to be informative in case you hadn't played these games growing up.
Yeah, if you haven't played Street Fighter 2, play Street Fighter 2.
100%. Yeah, if you're a Street Fighter player right now, go back and play these games. You need that.
I dare you to beat it on the hardest difficulty.
Yeah, good luck. I today couldn't beat it on the hardest difficulty, I don't think. Give the video a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Comment down below what you thought of the video, and definitely go check out some of our other content. We have live streams, other Safe Sets podcast episodes, our weekly tournaments, unboxings, and reviews. And definitely go ahead and check out the award show that we finished up today. It was a lot of touching moments for me and everyone else. Hit us right in the feels. So that's going to do it for this video. We'll catch you guys on the next. Keep pressing them buttons and
Stay safe.